I thought today we might do something a little bit different, and that is we're going to showcase a range of model kits that we currently represent in Australia and have done for a couple of years, and that is Salvinos JR from the United States. So unless you're a real die-hard automotive modeler, you may not have seen or know of this particular brand. Salvinos JR focus on the American NASCAR series of races and feature models from the 1980s up until current, and they've also just broken out into the IndyCar racing models. So let's have a look and let's have a discussion about what Salvinos JR is all about. So Salvinos JR, they're a little bit different, I guess, in what they do. They feature, as I said, NASCAR racing subjects, and they're what we would call a limited production company. And that is, they will do a production run of a car, and they will do anywhere from 300 to possibly 5,000 models in a production run. They will then stop, clean up their molds, and then it may be a period of time before we see the model re-released. Now, the biggest thing I'm asked about Salvinos JR is, yes, it's a lovely model, and as you can see here, we've got one built. They're certainly not a shake and bake model. Hold on. Shake and bake! Yeah! They are a model that you really need to focus on, and you really need to do your research. The instructions, whilst they're very adequate, they don't call out internal colours and that type of thing, so you need to research all that yourself. Because they're an American company, American owned, they design and manufacture their product in the United States. So because of that, they're very, very aware of paying licensing fees. And obviously the payment of licensing fees is going to, in the case of a model, influence what the retail price is going to be. So when you have a model like this, okay, and what have I got here? So we've got Ryan Blaney, he's got a 2023 Ford Mustang, okay? So Salvinos JR, they get the car, they analyse it, they work out what they can do, etc., etc. So they pay licensing fees to Ford. They then pay licensing fees to NASCAR. They then pay licensing fees to the racing team, to Goodyear, to everyone who's got their name on that car and has got a trademark. They pay the licensing fee to it. So that's adding to the price of the model. If we saw that coming out of other parts of the world, they'd probably do a few different bits and pieces, changes, maybe a couple of spelling mistakes, and not pay the licensing fee, but bring the retail price down. So as you can see from this model that we've got here, they do build up very, very nicely. The next batch of models that we're going to see from these guys, they're Chevrolet Camaros, they're Ford Mustangs. They are the body shells that are getting around in the Australian supercar series. Okay, now it's not going to be long before somebody out there starts to do some conversion kits to turn them from a left-hand drive vehicle to a right-hand drive vehicle. There are a couple of guys who are investigating the opportunity to do some Australian supercar decals to then put on the new batch of Salvinos JR Mustangs and Camaros and have cars representing the supercar racing series in Australia. As yet, that hasn't come to fruition, but I'm pretty sure that the way things work in this hobby, it won't be long before somebody comes up with those and we see them becoming available either online or possibly through retail stores. There's one thing that I really want to point out to people, and this, I guess when people are talking to me about Salvinos JR, they say, Andrew, look, it's a really nice kit, but it costs X amount when I can get this kit from the likes of AMT or MPC and it's, you know, $20, $30, $40 cheaper. And it does the job. And you're right, it does. It does. MPC and AMT and those brands have been around for a long time and they've served the hobby very, very well. But when you look at an AMT kit or an MPC kit or some of those other brands and you compare it to a Salvinos JR, it's like probably trying to compare a Hyundai i30 to a Volvo. Things have developed and things have moved forward. And yeah, while those brands have a great place in our hobby, the hobby has moved on, but if that's what you want to focus on, fantastic. And they do some subject matter in those other brands that, you know, cars, trucks, motorbikes, earth-moving equipment that nobody else does, and probably nobody else will ever do. So they'll always have their place in the industry. But Salvinos JR is just that little bit different, and a little bit more funkier. And when we start to look at the new stuff that's arriving in the next month or so, you might really want to consider the brand. So what I'd like to do is just a little bit of a demonstration here to show you some of the additional work that's done on a Salvinos JR model that makes it a little bit different to everyone else and also contributes probably to some of the retail price. What I've got here in my hand is a standard chromed sprue that we'd all be familiar with from different companies. And the way in which these have always been done is that the plastic is pushed through the injection mould, it's then popped out, and then the sprue is dipped in a liquid chrome, and that's how we end up with chrome parts. When I cut them off the sprue, I then have a situation, if I'm not careful, where I can actually go back to the raw plastic, and then I have to sort of work out how I'm either going to strip all that chrome off, or am I going to paint it? What am I going to do? Okay, and we'll just change angle. Fairly sharp knife here. We can see there where the chrome has come away from the plastic and reveals the plastic underneath. Okay, common thing, happens quite regularly. Fairly sharp blade, chrome point, and boom, boom. I can cut straight through, and then we can see, I hope, got the white plastic in the middle with the chrome over the top. Okay, and that's from 99.9% of model kits that provide chromed parts. So what I've got here is chromed parts from a Salvinos JR model. Now, if I put that alongside each other, and again we'll have some other photos, but you can see straight away a difference to the finish in the parts. Obviously you can't tell here, but the weight on this sprue is absolutely nothing when I compare it to this sprue. And the reason for that is quite simply that the team at Salvinos JR, when they're getting their plastic ready for the chromed parts, they actually put metal fibre into the plastic before injecting it into the mould. And I'll just show you, if you remember how easily I cut through that other sprue, like, honestly, I'm not cutting through that with a knife blade. If I don't have a good pair of nippers, I'm not getting through that. And we'll have a look there. You can see there where the knife blade's gone in, but it won't cut through the sprue. And that's because of the metal component that's in the plastic. So with a pair of good quality nippers, yes, I will get through that. But with that blade that I'm using there, that carton cutter blade, I'm not getting anywhere. So there we've got the Salvinos JR sprue, and there we've got the other sprue, and you should be able to see, I hope, the tonal variation. There's a lot of things going for Salvinos JR. The quality of what they do, how they prepare it, I guess ethically, the fact that they pay licensing fees. When you start looking at some of the decal sheets, for argument's sake, also that are in the kits, they are highly detailed, and where I've seen them for sale singularly, you know, they're selling for $25 to $30 just for the decal sheet, and it's I guess it's an indication of just how much research they've done and just how complete the decal sheets are. So this is an indication of the types of attention to detail that you're getting on the Salvinos JR decal sheets. I mean, that's for one car, 1, 2, 3 sheets, and that is very comprehensive. That's for a 2023 Ford Mustang, and that is from the Ryan Blaney car. It's just amazing stuff. It's not necessarily, as I said, because it's NASCAR, maybe the subject matter just doesn't sit terribly well in Australia, but the body shape, the Camaros, the Mustangs, they're what's getting around on the supercar circuit. So as I said, it's probably not going to be long before somebody starts to do some conversion kits to move them from left-hand to right-hand drives, and also decal sheets. Very nice stuff. If you're a dead set keen automotive modeller, you really do want to check out the Salvinos JR range. Now, I've got a shipment coming in September, middle of September 2024. And in there, we're going to have things like the new IndyCar cars from America. And we'll also have, and I'm probably going to get this wrong, but the Shane Van Gisbergen racing team from NASCAR. That Shane is probably known to Australians for his time in supercars. He also races NASCARs, and we have a model of the car that he races in the United States, their racing team. That will be with us as well. So look, if you're in a store and you see Salvinos JR, I would really urge you just to take a couple of minutes and to have a look at it, to ask the guys at the counter, hey, you know, what can you tell me about these cars? And see what you think. Make up your own mind. Yes, they're a step up in price to what you're probably used to paying, but there are so many features and benefits in these cars. I mean, you know, there's the body shell for the new Ford Mustangs. You know, it's just amazing. Now, this is a limited run manufacturer, but what they've been able to achieve is just absolutely gorgeous with these cars. So if you like what you're seeing, please use that subscribe button. Your comments, we love to read what you think about what we're doing and how we're doing it. And, you know, by all means, please put your constructive criticism down there and we'll get back to you as quickly as we can. So until next time we get a chance to have a catch up, I'm Andrew from Hobbies Australia. Stay safe, take care, and like I always say, let's build more kits, but maybe, just maybe, we might start building some more car kits. Bye for now.